Sixth grade Excel, lesson 126, converting measurements using division or multiplication with fractional or decimal remainders. Up till now, you haven't had any mixed numbers for your measurements, and you haven't had any decimals for your answers with measurements. Now we're going to have those, and we're going to show you how to do them right now. So fractions with division, here we go. 15 inches equals how many feet? Well, how do I do that? If this said 12 inches, you know the answer would be 1 foot, right? If this said 24 inches, you know the answer would be 2 feet. So what am I doing to go from here to here? Well, actually what I'm doing is I'm dividing my number by 12. 24 divided by 12 is 2. So since I divide the inches by 12 to get feet, I'm going to divide this inches by 12 to get feet as well. So we have 15 divided by 12. Another way of writing that would be 15 over 12, which is equal to 1 and 3/12. And then you can reduce 1 and 3/12, as they show you right here, to 1 and 1/4. So the answer is 1 and 1/4 feet. Go ahead and write that in on the blank right there. Oh, they've already got it written over here for you. Either way, it doesn't make any difference. Okay, and then here's number 1, another sample for you. 40 ounces equals how many pounds? Again, if this said 16 ounces, you know the answer would be 1 pound. If this said 32 ounces, you know the answer would be 2 pounds. So how am I going from this number to this number? I'm dividing by 16. And you can see they took 40 divided by 16. Another way of looking at is 40 divided by 16. It goes in twice, which is 32. You have a remainder of 8. 2 and 8/16. This number becomes your denominator, just like that would stay your denominator. 8/16, of course, can be reduced to 1/2. So the answer is 2.5 pounds is the same thing as 40 ounces. All right, the next one is number 2. Pause the video, give that one a shot. Turn it back on when you're ready for the solution. All right, number 2, 16 feet equals how many yards? So you have to think, well, what if this said 3 feet? 3 feet is equal to 1 yard, right? So 6 feet is equal to 2 yards. To go from here to here, I am dividing by 3. So that means I have to divide this by 3 as well. So there's 16 divided by 3. 3 goes into 16 5 times, remainder 1, or 1/3. So the answer is 5 and 1/3 yards. All right, decimals with division. 15 inches equals how many feet? Same thing as this problem up here, except now we're going to do it as a decimal number. The way you do that, here's how you do it as a mixed number. As a decimal number, you're just going to add 0.00 on there. 12 goes into 15 one time, and you get a remainder of 3, right? 12 goes into 32 times, that's 24, so you get a remainder of 6. 12 goes into 65 times. So the answer is 1.25. Well, because 1 and 1/4 is 1.25. Think about it, $1 and $1/4 is $1.25. All right, here's some other problems. Sample here. 36 ounces equals how many pounds? Well, there are 16 ounces in a pound, so we're dividing by 16. When you divide by 36 by 16, you get 2 remainder 4. 2 and 4/16, which is the same thing as 2 and 1/4. If you put 2 zeros on here as a decimal point answer, and you divide and you keep bringing down, you get 2.25. If you want to see how that's done, just pause the video, take a look at that problem there. I'm not going to go through it right now because I'm expecting that you know how to do this division problem. All right, let's take a look at number 4. We'll do this one together. 3,280 centimeters equals how many meters? Well, how many centimeters is equal to a meter? There are 100 centimeters in 1 meter. So to go from here to here, I'm dividing by 100. So I'm going to take the number 3,280 and divide that by 100. How many 100s are in 3? None. How many hundreds are in 32? Still none. How many hundreds are in 3 they want both mixed number and as a decimal number. So how many hundreds are into 328? 3, right? 3 times 100 is 300. Left over of 280. Bring that 0 down. How many hundreds are in 280? 2. That's 200. Subtract and get 80. So 32 and 80 hundredths. Now can we reduce 80 hundredths? Right off the bat, I can divide by 10 and I get 8 tenths, and then I can divide both of those by 2, so the answer as a mixed number is 32 and 4/5. Got to divide this by 2 and that by 2. Now what about as a decimal? I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this, so if you need to see it still, pause the video, but I'm going to clear this off and do it as a decimal now. Alright, so we're going to do 3280 divided by 100, and I might need to have some numbers after the decimal point over there. So again, 100 goes into 328 3 times. That's 328. Bring down the 0. Goes in 2 times. Nothing changes at this point, but now it does change. I get 80. Now I'm going to bring down another 0. How many 100s are in 800? Well, there's 8 in there. 32.8. So your other answer you're going to put in here is 32.8 meters. All right, fractions and decimals with multiplication. Now we're going to go the other direction. How do I go from 1.5 feet to inches? I'm going to have to do a multiplication problem with a mixed number. And this might be a little tricky for you guys, so make sure you're paying real close attention to this one. Okay, 1.5 feet into inches. Well, what's 1 foot? 1 foot in inches is equal to 12 inches. How do I go from 1 to 12? I multiply by 12. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to multiply 1.5 times 12. I'm going to change 1.5 to 3 halves, because I can't multiply mixed numbers. Multiply that by 12. 2 and 12 can be cross-reduced. The 2 becomes a 1. The 12 becomes a 6, because I'm dividing both of those by 2. Now I have 1 times 1, which is just 1, and 3 times 6 is 18. So it's 18 over 1, or the number 18. And if you think about it, 1.5 feet equaling 18 inches, that makes perfect sense, because there's 12 inches in a foot and 6 inches and a half of a foot. Let's take a look at another example. 2 1/4 gallon equals how many quarts? Well, there's 1 gallon is equal to 4 quarts. So I have to multiply by 4 to get over to here. Let me erase all that stuff to make it easier to see now. So you're going to multiply 2 1/4 times 4. You cannot multiply this, so you have to change 2 1/4 to 9/4, and 4 becomes 4 ones. The 4 and the 4 can cross-reduce and become 1 and 1. 9 times 1 is 9. 1 times 1 is 1. We don't need that down there. The answer is just 9. 9 quarts, and they have that filled in there. Okay, same thing's going to work on this one. You just have to figure out how many yards there are in, or how many inches there are in a yard, and you do the multiplication to get a higher number. Pause the video, turn it back on when you're ready to see the solution. Okay, you should have done, there are 36 inches in 1 yard, so you have to multiply times 36 to get over to there. You should have done 36 times 1.5. Pretty simple problem. 6 times 5 is 30, carry the 3. 18. 36 times 1 is 36 right here. 0. 14. 5. We have to move the decimal point over 1 spot. So the answer is 54. That's 54 inches in 1.5 yards. And that's it for today. So thanks for watching.